Hi, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, thank you for watching. So I was watching Hailey Reese and she did a video on the elevator game, and I found it really interesting. There's lots of games out there that are kind of creepy and they tell you don't play because you never know what can happen. There's just certain things you don't mess with. And so as I was listening to the story, I was looking through the comments, and there was this particular comment that was a lot creepier than the actual video. And so I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and you guys decide whether it's true, not true. But either way, I thought it was really interesting, so let me go ahead and start it. So the comment is by Esther. That's her name on YouTube. Okay, and it reads, "Hi, I'm from Korea, and guys, seriously, don't do this game. This game went really viral when I was in elementary school. But this game existed for quite a long time, and a lot of us actually did this. And mostly it was just a waste of time. It really didn't work. But just don't, seriously. There's a lot of different versions of this, and this is not the original version. But I might post the actual version later. For now, don't try this. The one that Hailey read most likely won't work. So I don't know, but still, don't try this, please. I'll leave this edit and I'll read again on Sunday." So, I was looking through the comments, seeing if she responded again. So here's her version. So the version I have experienced when I was younger. 1. Find an elevator with 10 floors. More than 10 floors, and it should happen between 2:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. You must be alone. 2. Press all the even numbers. 3. Press all the odd numbers. 4. After you made both your trips, the elevator would move itself to the 4th floor. And 4 means death. A girl or a lady, I think, it depends on your age, gets in. Also, don't look at her. Don't speak with her. If she talks to you, ignore her. 6. She would press a button and go to a certain floor. Usually a floor that does not exist. 7. She would get off first, and you can follow her. You will find yourself in a post-mortem world. 8. In order to go back, you have to follow steps backwards. The 4th floor, the odd numbers, the even numbers. Warning, you have to do this fast. If someone gets on the elevator while you're going through steps 1 through 3, it's okay. However, if someone goes through the elevator while you're on step 5 through 8, you are stuck. You cannot come back." And then there's another comment where she finishes, "And don't try it. I actually excluded 2 steps because I'm afraid someone's going to try it. I might include it later, but I'll tell you my experience tomorrow, so don't try anything, please." So again, I looked through the comments to see what she would say next. She already had me intrigued after this. So of course I did it. I was young, I love scary stories, etc. But I really did it because I wanted to see my younger brother. He died a few years earlier. I think he was 9 at the time. Might be 8, I'm not sure. And everyone was doing the elevator game. I really don't remember the date, but I think I was mid-summer. I was wearing short pants and a t-shirt. I started this game at 2 a.m. Mind you, I was 10 years old. I really don't remember how I got up at this time. I really didn't have an alarm clock in my room. I went down to the 1st floor, did some extra steps, and went on the elevator. 1 being smashing a clock. The first thing I thought was, God, why is it so cold in here? So I did all the steps and I waited. And this was so scary. I was afraid that every time the elevator stopped and the door opened, I was going to see someone or something. And just the darkness that I saw every time the door opened was chilling in a way. At first, nothing happened. Oh, and my elevator had 1 through 17. So I was on the 17th floor, and I thought I just failed because my friend said it was supposed to move to the 4th floor. Immediately after I finished all the steps, I pressed 14. That was where I lived. And the elevator started to move down. Then I passed the 14th floor. I didn't even pass it. I saw the screen flash 14, but it almost felt like it skipped my floor. The elevator kept going down. I was so confused. First, I thought someone must have pressed the button before me. The elevator and the building itself was super old. And sometimes when someone pressed the button before yourself, it would not work until it stopped on the 4th floor. And a girl was standing there. She had black hair and she was wearing a white dress. Actually, she was wearing a white hanbok. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Hanbok? Korean traditional clothing. But I seriously thought it was just a girl living on the 4th floor, because at the time I thought ghosts were transparent and it was bleeding and stuff like that. And she was super real. Like, she looked like you and me. And Koreans have black hair, and that's not a creepy factor. And she was smiling. Not that creepy smile, but just smiling, like super happy. I almost said hi, but I stopped myself because I remembered a boy in our class saying, I mean, no one would be there. Who would be there at that time? So I stopped myself and she came in. I really started to freak out. I'm Christian, by the way. So I was like, God, please help me. I would never do this again. I'm sorry. God, please help me. Why the hell did I do this in the first place? And for the first time in my life, I could feel my body shaking with fear. The girl, on the other hand, was so cool about everything. She looked happy, cheerful. For some reason, she practically hopped on the elevator, which was super weird as well. As I said before, the elevator was super old. If someone actually hopped on like that, the elevator would shake. But she landed without a sound, and that just freaked me out. Smiled at me and pressed the top door.
And press the stop.
If someone actually hopped on like that and the elevator would shake, but she landed without a sound, and that just freaked me out. Smiled and pressed the top floor. She pressed the button and it read 20. My apartment only had 17 floors. And she started talking to herself. She said, there's writing in Korean. I don't really know how to translate this, but it kind of means a young kid came here, which also kind of means you are too young to be here. And that made me so scared, but the elevator was already moving and I had no way to get off or stop this. Like 5 seconds late, we reached the floor. I think she meant later. Like 5 seconds later, we reached the 20th floor, which was also strange. Again, old elevator, super slow. And she hopped off and ran off. I was like, thank God. I started to press the close button like crazy. Right before the doors finally started to shut, I could see her running back at me. And she was not smiling anymore. Right before she reached the door, she stopped and smiled and turned around and said, she wrote in Korean again. Again, not a perfect translation. What I had, no need to run. See you later, honey. And I stared at her in horror. And she wasn't a young kid anymore, but she wasn't old. It looked like she was 15 or 17 years old. One might say not much happened. Yes, not on this day, not on that week, not on that month, not even on that year. Although I kept seeing her in the mirror of my apartment elevator, just smiling. And in my dreams, always smiling. I did not really meet her. I kept seeing her in my peripheral vision, but I did not meet her. Not yet, not that time. A few years passed and I was 11 years old. I walked home from school with my brother as usual and rode the elevator as usual. 3 of us on the elevator, my brother, a lady who lived on the 6th floor, I think, and me. The elevator was going up. Oh, and I haven't seen the girl for a long time. And I started to think it was all in my head. And with a strange creaking sound, it suddenly fell. Thankfully, the elevator was still going up the 2nd floor and none of us were hurt. The lady quickly pressed the open button and the door opened and the elevator kept sinking. So there was only a small space to get out, so she jumped off. My brother jumped off. I have not seen my brother move so fast in my life. But for some reason I couldn't move. And I could hear the girl. Hear, not see. laughing. And she said, "I told you we would meet again." I felt dizzy, and I felt like something was just holding my foot, and I was standing there crying. I wasn't stuck there because I was scared, but my foot was seriously stuck, and it seemed like the elevator was still sinking. Although there are no other floors that the elevator could go to, it was on the first floor. My brother was shouting at me to get off and stop being a crybaby. Yeah, that helped. And I was like, "I can't move." He yelled at me that I was a dirty liar and that I should come out. The lady finally shushed my brother and told me to hold her hand. And I stretched my hand toward her, and the girl grabbed me. Now, I don't know if the lady saw the girl, but she froze, and the elevator was still sinking. Almost no space to go. And the lady jumped in the elevator and literally threw me out the elevator. And then she jumped out herself. The weird thing is, as soon as I was out of the elevator, it stopped sinking. Like it immediately stopped sinking. Like someone pressed the pause button. And I swear I saw her glaring at me again. I don't know if the lady who was with us saw the girl, but she held both of our hands and led us up the stairs. And she made us call our parents, both of them. They were at work. She asked if we could stay with her for a day. My parents said yes. They both knew her. Later, I found out she was the one who taught me to speak English when I was younger. And we ate some bread and milk while she called 911 or something. The next day after school, I was alone that day. My brother went to his friend's house and there were men fixing the elevator. And I asked them, "What happened?" And they told me 5 or 6 lines, I can't remember, were cut. Like it was not from old age. It looked like someone had snapped it. And I was like, "Okay." And they smiled and said, "You'll have to use the stairs for a while." And although it was tiring to go up to the 14th floor for almost a week, I was happy that I did not have to ride the elevator. A few more things happened after this, but then this is already long, so this is gonna get much, much longer. So what I wanna say is, I was in a few more elevator accidents, which never really happened before I played that game. Although the building was old, everything was sturdy. I never saw the girl again though, but I still was very, very lucky to be alive. And also very lucky that the lady was with me and my brother at the time, because if it was only me and my brother, I don't think I would have had the chance to write this. Yeah, never trust your older siblings. They're jerks, even in emergencies. So yeah, don't do this. It's not fun. It's not worth it. Never think you could be the lucky one. And if you do try it, just remember, take the steps from now on. You never know what will happen. And that's the end of the story. So yeah, that creeped me out. I could barely get through the story. That really creeped me out. If you want to know more about the elevator game, Hailey Reese made a video about it, explaining what it is and everything. But yeah, that's really creepy. I hated elevators in the first place. I can't even be on an elevator. Like once I get in, I feel like I'm the one that's gonna be stuck right there. I don't know why, but all right. So thank you for staying this long. I just wanted to share this creepy story that I had read, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys like this story, comment down below. If you have any fear of elevators or you know about the elevator game, then comment down below also. All right, thank you. Bye.